Well, first of all, I do believe that Saturday night in Death Valley is a great experience for both sides. And it's a great advantage for us. And the more we can play Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, the better off we are. But scheduling is out of our control, so we'll never make an excuse for it. I do believe that Derek told me of our last 6 games, 3 of them start at 11 a.m. This is the third one that starts at 11 a.m. And we've been very successful in those 11 a.m. games. So we're going to continue with our game plan. Do I wish it was that night at Tiger Stadium? Yes, I do. But there's nothing we can do about it, so we're going to make the best of that situation.
Hello and welcome to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by my co-host Buddy Sanji here at Scoreboards on a Wednesday. Buddy, great to see you, my man.
Good to see you. Nice to have the week off, and hope everybody's doing well. Football weather coming in next week. I have the sunshades on because I'm really hard to look at to begin with. I saw that in the replays. I said, man, I really should do radio, not TV. But hey, I'm here because nobody else wants to sit next to JP tonight. So hey, I'm with you. All kidding aside, this is the only time it's ever happened. Back-to-back 11 o'clock games, and for those Tigers that lug the tailgate and do all of that, we're going to get into the nuances of it. But back to football, and I watched a lot of football, but I didn't have a lot of games that grabbed me, that I got my claws into them. Too many blowouts and too many decisive teams that are just kicking butt. But hey, Tiger fans, it's still great. And how about those Saints on Sunday night?
That's right, Who Dat. We have a lot of football here on Tigers Roar this episode, jam-packed LSU and Saints. Before we go any further, though, I want to give a shout-out to our guy in the truck, Greg Hockey, having surgery this afternoon, get his appendix taken out. Good luck to Greg. We're definitely thinking about you. And here on Tigers Roar, we're getting through it. You know, it's the next man up, as I like to say, on the field. When somebody goes down, somebody's got to step up. Got a skeleton crew in the truck. We're going to get through it for you right here on Tigers Roar. But, man, LSU takes on Utah State, a team from the Mountain West. Scores a lot of points. Got a very fast-paced offense. Coach O's really been training his defense all week of practice, and they're ready for warp speed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. By the way, kudos on Greg. Greg does a great job. He's really a guy that's just an upfront guy. Loves his salad. I call him the salad man. And hey, bud, it's going to be a little problem for a couple hours, but you're going to be good to go. We can't wait to have you back and feeling well. So get well quick. When Utah State, when Coach O talks about Utah State being faster than even Missouri, then that is very quick. This is what's going to be interesting for me. Now, we know how fast LSU's gone, and we know that their defense has been on the field 4+ minutes longer than the offense on an average game for 4 weeks. But if Utah State goes that quick and LSU stops them 3 and outs, you're having a lot of possessions for LSU. So I am here. Yes, they might be a tad rusty, but once Burrow and his receivers get going middle of the first quarter, I see another 50, 60 points this weekend, and I don't think that's expecting too much, but certainly 45 to 50, and they'll probably give up 20. So should be a lot of offensive fireworks. And hey, get your Bloody Marys ready because 11 o'clock or 11:02 at kickoff is early. You like it because you get the rest of the day, or you don't like it because it takes away tailgate?
No, big scheduling conflict for me. My son also plays at 11:30, so I'm on the phone watching the game while I'm holding the chains on the sideline. So it's scheduling conflict, but look, I mean, it is a different experience. People are going to be tailgating at LSU. I mean, they're going to get their drinks in early. You mentioned the Bloody Marys. They'll be popping cold ones with their breakfast. Maybe pour it in their Cheerios. Those LSU fans never miss their chance to have a good time.
And, of course, we also know the great thing about this weekend is right after LSU puts 55 on Utah State, Auburn at Florida. Bo Nix, a true freshman quarterback, and, of course, Kyle Trask, who took over in the middle of the Kentucky game when Felipe Franks had that gruesome injury, who's out for the year. This is a big game. How about Florida now? They've got Auburn at home and then LSU on the road, so you're going to find out how good the Gators are. Really good on defense, but we're starting to see some things. Alabama scored a ton of points. Georgia's still good at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, the SEC 5 of the top 8 or 10 teams, depending on what poll you look at. So it's starting to rev up, and I love this open date, the way it works out. 4 games, an open date, 4 games, an open date, and then you finish up at Bama, at Ole Miss, and then hosting Arkansas and Texas A&M. So I like it, and I also enjoy it when the Saints, the Jags, and the Tigers all win on the same weekend. So great to see. Even though we're not the biggest fans of Teddy Bridgewater, he's doing just enough to get him over the hump.
Yeah, as he's managing the football game. The one turnover he did throw, really, a lot of people are blaming Ted Ginn. I also think he should have caught that ball. But look, Ted Ginn is not Michael Thomas. The ball placement must be better from Teddy Bridgewater. He was mighty proud of those 2 back shoulder fades he threw to Mike Thomas, brought it up multiple times in his interview after the game.
Yeah.
Look, he managed the game, took a bad sack at the end, pushed the Saints out of field goal range, but it all worked out in the end. Teddy Bridgewater continues to win, 2-0. I mean, and 2 tough teams, Seattle and the Cowboys at home. The atmosphere was very raucous at the Superdome. Had a lot of fans from Dallas come in. So they took over New Orleans. I saw some videos. No opposing team takes over New Orleans. If you want to bring your fans and bring them to Bourbon Street, I'm all for that. Spend your money down here. I appreciate it. Taking over New Orleans. I think they had the Joe Burrow wave at the airport after the game, waving goodbye to another Texas team.
The state of Louisiana has done quite well against Texas this year. You can go to the internet and see 6 out of 7 or whatever it is. Back to the Saints, and you know, I've said this on radio a couple times, and we're still streaming on TuneIn.com, but lo and behold, if you would have ever thought before the season that LSU's offense would be appreciably better than the Saints, but the Saints' defense right now is appreciably better than LSU's defense. And you really want to see the improvement this week with the LSU defense, the sacks, the pressure, the tackling, the disguising, and obviously cleaning up all the missed tackles. And I think the most important thing, JP, got to get some takeaways. LSU only has 4 takeaways in 4 games. You got to have more than that. And my over and under for them, take it away from Utah State 3 times. But, man, I love the way the Saints are hitting. And I got to tell you, those corners really covered well. Apple, PJ, and Lattimore looked like the light went on the big stage Sunday night.
I mean, you also have to mention Vaughn Bell, a guy that's involved with 2 turnovers. Sean Payton thinks he's the most improved defensive player for the Saints. He's definitely been playing at a high level. One of the MVPs for that Saints defense so far. You do get Sheldon Rankins back against the Cowboys. I believe that really did a lot to Dak Prescott's pocket, as well as limiting Zeke Elliott to 38 yards, which is his 3rd lowest in his career. That guy could always tote the rack. You see him want to eat every play.
Oh, yeah.
He's a beast.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, the Saints, this is the kind of defense that you have to play when you want to win championships. And right now, you saw Drew with all of the motions in his thumb. He's doing everything to get back quick and massaging it, and it's unbelievable. Sean Payton saw him, you know, like the first week afterwards, and he goes out there. Nobody's on the field but Drew Brees, and he goes like, well, what are you doing? He goes like, I'm simulating the game. You know, just because I'm hurt doesn't mean I'm going to get away from it. So you hope that he's back in another 4 or 5 weeks. You want to keep your defensive healthy because they've been really playing well. And getting Rankins back for the Saints is similar to what might mean getting back Rashard Lawrence for LSU. Now, Rashard may play some reps. They may hold him for Florida. But it does look like they're going to bring back Caleb on Chason. And Divinity's still gimping. So you know how it is. Every week you got to have these missing pieces. And, of course, the Saints had to overcome Anzalone and all the linebackers that have been hurt. So, you know, folks, it's unbelievable how important these training staffs are. We don't talk a lot about it, but getting your guys back as quick as possible, important at both the college and pro level.
I mean, it is on a player, but also has a lot to do with the training staff, as you mentioned. It's been a weird start to this football season. The Saints opened up Monday night against the Texans, had that last-second field goal from Will Lutz to win. Drew Brees goes down the next week. Teddy Bridgewater steps up, wins 2. The Saints have held opposing teams to under 20 points a game, and LSU is scoring 55?
Yeah.
Man, this has been a crazy start to the football season.
And, you know, as far as this LSU offense goes, obviously it starts with center Lloyd Cushenberry and quarterback Joe Burrow. And I expect Burrow. Now, look, this is the kind of guy Joe Burrow is. He was mad that Mr. Jamar Chase didn't get SEC Player of the Week. Jamar had 4 touchdowns and 200-plus yards, was unbelievable. And, of course, because Burrow had 6 touchdown passes and set the LSU record, he got the SEC Game of the Week. But Jets Jefferson looks like he's going to be back in play. Once again, Stephon Sullivan moved out two wide receiver now that obviously you got some people that are missing, and Racey McMath will once again miss the first half because of the targeting call.
Right.
Of course, Terrace Marshall out probably until Bama, and as we said, there'll be some guys back. But the other big news, of course, today is that Leonard Fournette decided to leave the LSU football program. When I first heard the news, it made 100% sense to me. But it seemed like the LSU fan base, which sometimes does love to have catastrophe syndrome and love to chew up their own and have, I mean, here's the way I look at it. He's telling everybody he's finished and he probably doesn't want to play anymore. Okay, that's his prerogative. But what have we heard Coach O say the last 2 or 3 weeks? Got to get those young guys early on in some meaningful reps in the first half. He sees the writing on the wall, and I've heard different opinions, but I think because he's only played 4 games, he could sit out this year and go play 1 year as a grad transfer for somebody like a Frank Wilson to Texas San Antonio or Southeastern to Tulane or whatever. But right now he says that's not in the cards. We'll wait to see. But look, the only negative you have of it, besides you're losing the running back, and if Clyde Edwards-Helaire would get hurt Saturday against Utah State, you're going in against the meat of the SEC schedule with nothing but freshman running backs. Chris Curry, a redshirt freshman, and then Davis Price and Emory, the true freshman. But hey, it's time to throw them into the deep end of the swimming pool and see how good they can swim.
That's right. We have a lot more here on Tigers Roar. We'll get to our first break, but first I want to tell you about Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Great attractions, great food, TVs everywhere you look. Lots of sports always on. It's always a tailgate here at Scoreboards. Come check us out. We're here on a Wednesday afternoon. Shoot about 5:15. Got a lot going on each and every day here at Scoreboards. Get to our first break and join us after this messages.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah!
Dad!
Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Look up to the skies, I see desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji, here to give you an update on LSU football. 24 scores, touchdown drives under 3 minutes. Last year only had 23 the entire season for LSU. Definitely moving at a fast clip. LSU thinks that Utah State is going to move faster than anything they've seen before, so they're practicing in warp speed this week on defense.
Yeah, Coach O mentioned warp speed, and everybody kind of started to tweak about what it means. And I'll just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's not going to be a lot of time for chatter. Now, you know how these ball games are. You get over there and you start barbecuing the man, the sausage and all that, and you start drinking, and it's 10 o'clock, and oh, baby, let's go in right at 11. You get in there, and everybody's kind of getting in their seats late. But this LSU offense, they start throwing as soon as they get off the bus, and Utah State is very similar. So, man, look, warp speed means, honey, don't be asking silly questions while either team has the ball, because this is going to be boom, boom, boom. By the way, Jordan Love is a potential first-round pick as a quarterback in the next draft, but he only has 6 touchdowns and 5 INTs. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, as we all know, 17 touchdowns, 2 INTs. What kind of stats are you looking from Joe Cool? By the way, do you have a nickname for Burrow yet? Did you ever settle on one, or you just calling him Joe B, Joe Burrow, what?
I just call him Burrow. I leave the nicknames up to everybody else. Just call him Burrow. Joe Cool sometimes if I'm talking to myself, maybe, but yeah, he's just Burrow. Burrow to me.
Well,
I like the short hair Burrow myself.
Okay.
Long hair Burrow had a lot of swag. I like the long hair Burrow. Short hair Burrow, all about the business, and I'm digging it.
And look, whether he makes it to New York with the Heisman is irrelevant. He's worried about winning games.
Right.
And of course, by the way, we've got our LSU SEC championship hat here. They still have a chance, as long as they're in it. We're going to keep this up here. And I got the old baseball shirt. Chicks dig the long ball. And this week, I'm going for 3 or 4 long passes. I think this is something that they haven't really stretched out, and I'm expecting Joe Burrow to run 4 or 5 times, maybe 6, but I want to see a few deep balls, because you got to start letting those SEC teams know that you haven't seen all of the stuff on this offense. How cool is that? To have an offense at the cutting edge in college football. I watched a lot of college football, JP.
Yeah.
I never would have thought I'd tell you this after 4 games. I wouldn't trade LSU or Alabama's offense with anybody.
Coach O loves his players, loves his assistants. Joe Brady, a big pickup, obviously, in the passing game. And Steve Ensminger, he likes to sling it. I mean, that guy's a gunslinger. He likes to call it. We'll see if they can actually, factualize the deep ball this week. Jamar Chase, that guy against Vanderbilt was outstanding. Kicked into another gear he didn't even know he had. He was out running everybody for 80 yards. Joe Burrow, gotta love when he throws short passes and they end up in long touchdowns. It makes his stats better, but also takes a little pressure off of him.
Yeah, it really does. And here's the other thing that we haven't mentioned yet. Ed Ingram has made a miraculous comeback. Now, you and I have been talking both on radio and TV in the last month about how long it would take him to transition and be in shape good enough. And, of course, he got his practices in. He got into his full pads. He's worked hard. Looks good, man. Doesn't have any bad weight. But once again, he looks physical. They're happy with his physical.
Yeah.
But once again, at this pace and this new offense, I think you'll probably see McGee play a couple series, and then you'll see Ingram, then McGee, then Ingram. Of course, Ingram could play other spots. But I think they'll work him in 35 or 40 plays this week. But, hey, how much is his impact on the O-line now with seeing more of the true freshmen?
Right.
Folks, you may be talking excitingly about the running game next week going into Florida. And I'm going to make that little prediction right now. LSU's going to have a better run game than they've had all year long. Since I'm crazy today, 200 yards on the ground for LSU Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon.
As TK would say, book it. Oh, wait, I'll let you hear from Coach O. 29-9 as head coach to LSU. He had his press conference, his weekly press conference this Monday, speaking about everything between the 11 a.m. kickoff, between the injury, guys getting back in shape. And here is head coach Ed Orgeron in this week's weekly press conference.
Guys, welcome. Great to get back in a routine. I do believe that our players really enjoy the open date. We only practice once in pads on Wednesday. We worked a lot on tackling. We worked a lot on causing turnovers, a lot on our run game on offense, a lot on our punt return on special teams. We thought that we had an excellent week of practice. I want to compliment our football team for protecting the team. Obviously, they went home for the weekend. Everybody's back, ready to go, and my phone didn't ring one time. So that means that everybody's in good shape, and that's much appreciated by the head coach, I promise you. Looking forward to Utah State. We'll get back in the routine. Utah State's offense is a spread offense led by a very, very good quarterback in Jordan Love. One of the top quarterbacks in the country. He's thrown for over 6,000 yards and 40 TDs in his career, averaging 38 points a game. The thing that makes their offense go is the speed of the offense. Very, very fast. Faster than any team we've seen, including Missouri. So we're going to have to practice that this week. We started on a little bit last week. We're going to get better at it this week. They also do some lookovers, get to the line of scrimmage, see what you can, check, and they're very good at it. We're expecting a very, very tough challenge from Jordan Love and Gerald Bright, running back, and Meriden, at wide receiver, number 80. On defense, their coach is a defensive guy. Their defensive line is really good. They mix out of a 4-3 and a 3-4 to 6 returning starters. They're only giving up 21 points per game. And the strength of their defense is their defensive line with quarterback pressures and hurries and movement. On special teams, they're very solid. This is going to be a very good week for us. Can't wait to get back to practice, get back in a routine. Today we Tell the Truth Monday. What we'll do is look at the first 4 games of our season, tell our team what we feel like we're doing well, what we feel like we must and will improve, and then we'll move on from then. Any questions?
You experimented with moving Christian over. I guess, how did that go this past week?
It looked good. I think we're going to continue to look at it this week. Against certain sets, you may see it.
Ed, you mentioned how fast they are on offense. In past years, without maybe the speed that you guys have this year, how do you plan for a game where there can be that much speed on both sides?
Well, we're going to practice just like they run their plays. Our offense has what we call warp speed. So we're going to practice in warp. Our second unit will practice warp speed against our first unit. We'll put the best players at the best positions that we can to simulate what they have on offense. And I think we'll do a pretty good job of it.
Ed, what did you see from Ed Ingram in his first padded practice back, and what do you kind of want to see from him this week?
He was very physical. He was in good shape, still has some conditioning, some football conditioning left to do. I don't know if he's ready to go 60 or 80 plays without a break. I wouldn't say that. Normally he would be. We're going to see how he does this week, but it was good to have him back.
Coach, last week Jamar Chase said, "I didn't realize I was that fast." What have you seen from him in terms of just catching the football and sprinting away from people this year?
Well, Jamar is finally in good shape. His first year, he didn't go through a fourth quarter, and he was just getting in shape. This year, his individual drills are structured as he's getting a lot of reps. He's getting a lot of reps in practice. He had a great summer. He's big, strong, fast, and physical. So I think what Jamar is seeing is that he's in tip-top condition, and he's able to play at full speed for the whole game.
Ed, when you say practice warp speed against the defense, is that in what detail do you mean kind of that playing out in a practice?
Say it again.
When you say the offense, you call it working at warp speed against the defense. Is that something new that y'all are doing this year, or kind of how?
We have several different speeds that we use on offense, and one of them is as fast as you can, and that's called warp. So our second team will practice at that speed versus our defense to simulate Utah State speed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Coach Ogeron, right back here. I know you said the players had the weekend off. I know how long the season is a grind for you and the coaching staff. Could you give me a little window? Did you have any downtime this weekend? Could you tell me anything that you did that was kind of enjoyable, that was non-football related for a few days?
Yeah, Thursday night, Kelly and I left. I kept my company truck at home. I drove her car, where usually I'm only allowed to drive it on Sundays to church. I put some country music on. Put I don't know what they call it, T-top, moonroof, and put it down, and went as fast as I can down the highway to Lake Charles. And we had a good win. We went to dinner Thursday night with my family. Friday night, we went to the Cowboys game on Saturday and came back Sunday morning. So I had a great weekend. Thank you.
Ed, down here, sorry. The offense, right now, 27 for 27 in the red zone. The touchdown percentage is way up from last year. What is it about this offensive scheme that makes it so effective when the field gets short like that?
We talked about it today. There's no secret why we're successful in the red zone. First of all, we have great coaching, and those guys prepare night and day for it, and then we practice it the right way. I do believe when you practice something, you coach it well, when you have great players, you're going to have success. We practice red zone on Mondays, we practice red zone on Thursdays, we practice red zone on Fridays, and we practice red zone on Saturday mornings. And our guys know exactly what to do against the coverage that they're seeing. So I think a combination of having great coaching, great players, and great practice plans, that's what you're seeing.
Hey, Coach, right here in the middle. When teams have an open date, a lot of times you hear the term self-study.
Yeah.
Looking at maybe how you've been predictable, how you could maybe disguise things better. Right. Did some of that go on both sides, and specifically with defense and getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks? No
question. It went on, and what we found is, first of all, the way we're running the ball, what we're running, how we want to run it, how we want to practice it. That was the big thing on offense. On defense, it was about tackling and causing turnovers. And more or less, not the actual tackle, which is important, but the approach. How was our footwork? Where was our weight distributed? Where was our eyes? What was our angles? And we practiced that all week. And we also practiced a lot on punt return, on being able to give our returners some room. We practiced different stuff on our punt return. So those are the things that we found last week that we could be a lot better at.
Ed, fans may not like 11 o'clock starts, but do you feel like it takes away anything from your effort or what your team's advantage, especially when you're going against a team like Utah State that would have never experienced Saturday night in Tiger Stadium?
Well, first of all, I do believe that Saturday night in Death Valley is a great experience for both sides. And it's a great advantage for us. And the more we can play Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, the better off we are. But scheduling is out of our control, so we'll never make an excuse for it. I do believe that Derek told me of our last 6 games, 3 of them start at 11 a.m. This is the third one that starts at 11 a.m. And we've been very successful in those 11 a.m. games. So we're going to continue with our game plan. Do I wish it was that night at Tiger Stadium? Yes, I do. But there's nothing we can do about it, so we're going to make the best of that situation.
That was head coach Ed Ogeron this Monday doing his weekly press conference, talking about a lot of different stuff, including Utah State, what they expect, getting some players back, and how defenses look during practice. 18 missed tackles the last 2 games. They have to improve that, and they've really been preaching that to these young men.
And one of those guys that will be starting this weekend and playing a lot, Breeden Fehoko, of course, everybody loved it last year when him and his daddy were on the internet doing the haka. It is something to see. If you've never seen it, Google Breeden Fehoko and his dad doing the haka. But I like him. He's been bruised up and bumped up and nicked up for about 2 years, but I think he's coming into his own. Would like to see him have a big game, and of course, number 91 is a big part of the defensive plan. Hope to get Lawrence back, Logan down the road, Neil Farrell, and got to get more from those nose guards, especially Apu Ika. But here's your buddy.
Well, here is the always candid number 91, Braden Fehoko, this week from the LSU media availability.
Talked about tackling was a big emphasis during the bye week. Angles, all those 18 missed tackles against Vanderbilt. So how'd you guys improve?
The first thing you improve on is you hear it every day. The coach has been talking about 18 missed tackles for the past 2 weeks, and so we're kind of just fed up with it. And so we've been doing tackling drills every day. We're in jerseys today, jerseys and shorts, and we're out here tackling. I know it sounds kind of cliche that we're tackling without pads, but I think that's how you get better. It's just the more repetitions at it, the more you see it, the more you actually do it. And so I think everybody's just kind of taking it to the gut as something that we can work on, something that we can improve, and I think we're ready to show everybody that we can actually tackle.
You guys have been, I'm just curious, so you guys have obviously been tackling your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So when tackling is a problem, what do you think that it is? Is it like an angle thing, or is it just what do you think the problem is?
Honestly, I think the biggest issue is really just guys just want to go out there and kill somebody. You look at the missed tackles we have, it's really guys just want to take somebody's head off, which is a good thing. If you look at the 18 missed tackles, it's really we're in position. Everybody wants the big tackle. Nobody wants to just wrap them up on the legs and bring them down. But at the same time, you kind of got to do it because on paper, 18 missed tackles doesn't look well, but 6 big hits does. And so that's what people aren't seeing. But I think it's just a good problem to have that guys have the eagerness and the will to want to actually go out there and hit somebody. You don't want to teach somebody how to hit. You want to teach them to slow down and teach them the technique. And I think that's what the coaches are doing now, just teaching us to slow down a little bit, get our feet under ourselves, and actually make good tackles.
What is with Caleb Vaughn and Sean just put back into his defensive front? What do they offer to defense, especially in the line with you guys?
Experience. That's a big thing, is experience and explosiveness. Caleb Vaughn's an explosive athlete. Rashard's an explosive athlete. Rashard's played a lot of ball. And I think just having him back is just, it adds to the front. It adds to communication. I was talking about earlier how it's huge that we play tempo teams and how well that we got to communicate and be sound in what we do in practice, because when the game comes against fast teams like Utah State, there's really no time on the field to just chit chat and be like, hey, you lined up well. That's where communication and practice comes in, and that's where experience with guys like Rashard, guys like Caleb Vaughn, they help out with all the young guys. So getting lined up is a big thing, especially in a week like this week.
And what about Utah State offense other than just their tempo pop out?
That's really the biggest thing that stands out to me is how fast they go. You look against Wake Forest, they ran a play within like 9 seconds of finishing the last play on their first drive, and so I think they ran 90-some plays that game. And so going into this week, they have a really good quarterback. You always got to respect their opponent, regardless of the conference they play in, regardless of the talent they have. And on any given day, anybody can be beat. So,
Coach was talking about how fast they are, but you obviously going up against your offense that is also pretty quick. How much do you think it helps you guys, having gone against a spread team that is quick and there's so many similarities?
It's huge. We've been seeing our offense do this since the spring. They've been going fast, and every team really in the Power 5 conference now is transitioning to a spread offense. And of course, you're going to still get the ground and pound game, but having our offense do what they do every week, every day for us. We did fastballs today. They were slinging it. They were going super quick. By the time we run to the ball, they were already getting lined up for the next play. Stuff like that, as much as we hate it in practice, it really helps us out in the game. It's just credit to what Joe and Coach Ensminger and Coach Brady and what those guys are doing over there for the offense, what they're doing for us.
And going against, I guess, that warp, is it a warp speed?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Every time I hear warp, I just want to cry sometimes, because it's like you hear warp and the whole drive you think they're going to just, try to get like a look over or something, just stop. And, sometimes I wish it was like last year's offense where after a play they just get up there and huddle again. And I'd see Lloyd call the huddle, but, now I'm looking at Lloyd, he's getting ready on the ball, and all I hear is warp from Joe. And it's like we're looking on the sideline, we're trying to get the call, trying to get lined up, trying to get your breath. That's the biggest thing. And so it sucks, but like I said, it helps us out a lot.
Coach Anderson was the first coach to offer you coming out of middle school, I guess?
Yeah.
What's it going to be like facing him this week?
I've always had a good relationship with Coach Anderson. funny story. Actually, before Coach Aranda went to Wisconsin, and I knew Coach Aranda Hawaii, it was just kind of crazy when Coach Aranda was at Wisconsin and Coach Anderson, those guys, and Coach Aranda and Coach Anderson, when they were at Utah State as well, recruited my older brother. And so to see him again is like seeing family. But when you put the pads on Saturday, family goes out the window. But it's going to be good to see everybody on Saturday.
2 more for Brady.
Jamar Chase, have you seen him like hit this new gear this year in terms of taking off and leaving people?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of seen that new gear. I mean, I'm glad he's on my team. Shoot, I mean, for the past, 2-3 games since Texas, I mean, those guys, those wide receiver core is crazy. I'm glad they're all on our team for the most part. I mean, I'm glad I don't got to cover. I'm glad I don't play DB.
What about Michael Divinity? I mean, the way he's got hurt and kind of worked his way back, what does he kind of offer you guys moving from inside back to outside this season?
Mike just offers great leadership. I mean, Mike is the voice of the defense. Whether he's playing behind me, whether he's playing on the side of me, you're always going to hear Mike's voice wherever. You're always going to hear strong right, strong left. You're always going to hear 2-man. You're always going to hear man, zone. Mike's calling out everything. Mike's calling out offensive plays. He does it in practice. He does it in the game. It always hurts, not just the defense, but the team when somebody like that gets hurt, when somebody like that goes down, because he's not just a physical presence, but just his presence alone in that locker room, on that field, really gives everybody confidence. So I'm glad to have him back as well.
That was starting defensive end Braden Fehoko, now a senior for LSU Tigers. He's played a big role since transferring over. I mean, really fit right in. The Baton Rouge has definitely embraced him. The haka, as you mentioned, really caught on, went viral. So I think he's having fun playing football, ready to show this defense has worked out the kinks, ready to get back to the basics of tackling. All good stuff from Braden Fehoko.
Fehoko said this week a couple times to the media people, he said, I am so tired of these coaches telling us about missed tackles. So let's hope. Eye responsibility. You got to use your eyes when you're tackling. Coach O talked about the footwork. We mentioned using the legs, exploding in and wrapping up. And then when you get that second and third and fourth guy, then you're trying to pop that ball out and flip it. And nobody was a better stripper than Tyrann Mathieu, and he's still playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, one of the things I know Dave Aranda's got to be stressing, not only the missed tackles, but he wants to see some more takeaways. They had 17 INTs last year. They only have 2 fumble recoveries and 2 INTs. Got to get better at that stat. But I think the defense has got a lot to say, because everybody's been telling them how bad they are. That's when you really are challenged. I think they bring it this weekend, JP.
Got to take a quick break here on Tigers Roar. When we come back, we'll be joined by Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Don't go anywhere. He always has a lot of information, lots of stuff you need to know right here on Tigers Roar.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Remember the smell of vinyl? What happened to all your old records? Lost in a move? Thrown out by the ex? Get them back. Classic Vinyls Record Store and Collectibles, 13847 Coursey, where you can find all old vinyl, all genres of music, rock, country, blues, and R&B. Classic Vinyls and Collectibles behind Mary Lee Donuts and Coursey. If they don't have it, they'll get it. Look for them on Facebook. Classic Vinyls, sponsors of Classic Vinyls Classic Rock Night Thursdays at Scoreboards on Coursey.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello, hola, 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by Buddy Sanji, the Bud Man, here on a Wednesday afternoon at Scoreboards 10655 Coursey Boulevard, one of Baton Rouge's newest establishments. It's outstanding food, outstanding atmospheres, TVs all around, watch a lot of sports, and come check us out every Wednesday here on Tigers Roar.
No doubt about it. The girls lit it up with glitter and gossip last night. You go ahead and call Mike, and I'll fill a little time here. Unbelievable show last night. Of course, don't forget Roman Banks and the Overtime Show always do a great job. And we know that a big part of our show every week on Wednesday night, and we appreciate him squeezing us in because his site has been on fire and hot. We talked to Mike Scarborough on the TV. We had him on radio, and man, he's been breaking stories left and right, JP.
Join him here on Tigers Roar. Here is Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Just been things have been rolling on Tiger Bait. It's been a crazy busy day with all-day chat and all the prospects reaching out saying they're coming in for visits, unofficial and official, for the Florida game. Basketball recruiting, it's been nonstop at TigerBait.com.
All right, let's verify a couple of things. Of course, everybody knows that LSU has confirmed that Leonard Fournette has in fact left the team. Mike, have you made light of the situation? Have you put all the pieces together? Is it as easy as he sits out this year and plays another year at somewhere else? Of course, Kelly Bryant did that at Clemson and then is playing at Missouri. Or is it something more, and is he really going to just give up football, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's just deciding to give up football. But, the whole thought, and look, when we posted the story, particularly on our Facebook page, the fans were just, heavy debates. And, some don't like the quitting part, and some, doesn't make sense. But it's also like, my first thought was, well, he's, I imagine Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's the #1 running back, wishes he had the ball more. When Joe Burrow's throwing for 60 miles every Saturday. And then you've also got, Emory and Davis Price pushing, But at the same time, it's like, man, you've done all the sweat, you've done all the work, and it's your senior year. I mean, whatever's at the end of the year, there's an SEC championship ring or something of that in that line, and you left the team, almost at the midway point.
Well, and Chris Curry could also now, JP, get some more reps. But Coach O's been saying it on his Monday press conferences the last couple, Mike, that the young bucks, Davis Price and Emory, were going to get more look-sees and more appreciable reps early in the game. So we'll see how that all washes out. Hey, Mike, your opinion on Ed Ingram? I think Jonathan and I are a little surprised that he may play so quickly, and we'll see how good a shape he's in and how many plays he can play without being taken out. But what does he bring to the LSU offense that maybe we didn't talk about the first 4 weeks?
Well, look, before he got indefinitely suspended and had all the legal stuff to get through, it was he probably was, thought of as being LSU's best offensive lineman or on pace to be. And, look, he's been able to work out and use the facilities on his own. I've been told that he's been working hard. But it's, there's also a big difference between losing an entire season of football.
Yeah.
But, for him to get reinstated right before the open date, and he's been out there for several weeks, and, and then you get Utah State. So I guess it's a good scenario to get him in and get him acclimated as quick as possible.
Mike, I know the site's been buzzing about the upcoming visits, people coming to watch the Tigers. Got Florida around the corner. So talk about some of the upcoming guys going to be visiting Tiger Stadium, taking the sites.
Yeah, look, we've confirmed 2021 quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Landon Watson just confirmed with us that he's coming in. The list is getting long. You'll have all the in-state kids that will be there. Roy, Jacoby, and Guillory. The list is getting expanded by the minute. That's going to be a huge visit weekend. Auburn will be a big weekend as well. 11 a.m. kickoff. I know a lot of kids have multiple of the prospects I talked this week have homecoming this Saturday, so I don't know what to expect on Saturday. Will Wade's got visits coming in the next few weeks as well. So, Jalen Cook will be there for the Florida game, the Walker point guard that's committed to LSU. Milani Wilkinson of Bishop Gorman, the forward, will be on campus for his official visit with Will Wade. And so that's a biggie, and I know they're excited about him. So football recruiting and basketball recruiting, it's both getting full speed right now. If
you're a subscriber of TigerBait.com, you know what Mike's been putting out, basketball recruiting. And JP, I got to be honest with you, it has always paled in comparison to football recruiting. But Mike, I read the stuff on the site, and I think your subscribers were just really, really excited to get all the in-depth info. And folks, you're going to see LSU without rim protectors. You gotta replace Naz Reid and Cavell Big B Williams. You can't do it in 1 year, but Mike, it looks like LSU's certainly going after some 4s and 5s.
Yeah. It's and look, the LSU coaching staff on football were out in full force last Friday. I saw Coach Ensminger at Ponchatoula. I was there seeing, of course, T.J. Finley, Jacoby Matthews, LSU's 2022 safety target. Got to look at Edgerrin Cooper, the Oklahoma commitment that LSU's still keeping an eye on at linebacker. So Ensminger was there. Joe Brady was up in Washington, D.C., seeing 5-star quarterback Caleb Williams. And so, that kid, as great as the LSU's camp was in July or into June, he was, in my mind, the top quarterback of all the camps there, and that's saying a lot because it was the best summer of quarterbacks I've ever seen at LSU. And he got offered by Clemson 2 days ago. LSU-Georgia battle, Clemson in there as well. And I think he might be coming in for the Texas A&M game. So that'll be huge. Garrett Nussmeier, I mentioned earlier, from Texas. Of course, his dad is Doug Nussmeier. And he'll be on campus for either the Florida or Auburn games.
Hey, Mike, real quick, if you could also verify a rumor last day or two about Jalen Lee and how strong his commitment was. That's the great thing about Mike. He doesn't put a lot of BS out. You talk to the kid. Give me the skinny on what Jalen Lee told you.
Yeah, I got someone messaged me and said, "Hey, you hear anything about Jalen Lee?" I said, "I don't know. I'll call him." And then I found out later, where the original story originated from after the fact. But he basically, after talking to him, I just don't see that escalating. Certainly, Alabama's after him hard. Florida's after him hard. But got a little tidbit in the chat today about that additional. About what's going to be happening in the next couple of days. So I just don't see anything happening with Jalen Lee. But I will say this about him is, look, Jaquelin Roy is obviously so good, but Jalen Lee is right there. I mean, Live Oak's got a great football team. We filmed him 3 times already this season. And I think his rating needs to go up. Jacobian Guillory, McKinley Jackson's now back in the fold. He's going to visit. LSU's not done. They lost Patrick Jenkins, but now McKinley Jackson becomes more of a real deal because I don't think that whoever the Barber type of guy in Mississippi is, I don't think he's a part of the process anymore.
Hey, Mike, I'm still waiting to see some footage on Arch Manning on the website. Guys, been killing it for Newman. Exciting for the city of New Orleans.
I tell you what, we've been putting Arch Manning video on the message board every week. There's a guy out there that shoots him every game, and so it's like, we put him up every week. And of course, I was actually going to go to STM tonight to film Walker Howard again, but their game got canceled. And I was talking to Jamie earlier, and it seems like a lot of JV teams are backing out and not wanting to play him. I don't know if it's because of Walker, and I think he had 5 touchdowns against the Acadiana's JV last week. So I don't know.
Hey, real quick, just for people that aren't involved in recruiting, just tell everybody once again about Arch Manning and Mike. Do you think LSU at this point has a legitimate shot to sign? And I would imagine this would probably be the last Manning, but a Manning to LSU scholarship, is it feasible?
Well, the thing about it is, it's like I had someone DM me on Twitter last week. I had made a tweet about Arch Manning getting the publicity on Sunday Night Football, and he said, well, he's going to go over, he's going to, go to wherever, to Cutcliffe and Duke or wherever Cutcliffe signs off on. I'm like, man, he's a 9th grader. Cutcliffe will be entering his 70th year of age.
Yeah.
When look, obviously the Mannings like David Cutcliffe, but from what I've seen in the time I've covered recruiting, everybody just thinks that there's no way a Manning would ever come to LSU. If you remember, Josh Booty was the guy they wanted over Peyton. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's when I first started. And Eli was down LSU's board. He wasn't really a big push for LSU. So, to me, it's all about timing. Who did LSU sign the year before? Is Cutcliffe still at Duke? What's the situation at Ole Miss? Who's the head coach at Ole Miss in 3 years? Can you guarantee it's the same guy that it is right now?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, there's so many scenarios to play out in 3 years.
And that's Cooper Manning's son, Archie, and Eli's older brother.
Yep, and they were at the camp, and the LSU 7-on-7, and I watched Joe Brady sit in the golf cart next to Archie with Munoz and Cooper, and they sat there and talked the whole day. So a lot of years left to play out. So we'll see how it shakes out.
All right, Mike, certainly appreciate your contribution. Tell everybody about the site and how they can subscribe today to TigerBait.com.
That's it. Go to TigerBait.com, LSU fans. We really want to have you. Try us out for $1. If you don't like it, we got a phone number you can call and cancel. Takes you 30 seconds. We're the only subscription site that has a number to call, and it's that easy. So $1, TigerBait.com. We want to have you give us a try.
Thank you, Mike. Great stuff.
Keep with the good work, bud.
All right, and boy, interesting stuff. Jalen Lee sticking with LSU. Leonard Fournette giving it up. I don't know if he'll change his mind and go play somewhere next year, but we wish him the best of luck. Obviously, getting preps for Utah State. And man, you talk about a golf cart with Archie Manning and Joe Brady.
Yeah.
You know, they have been recruiting great with Joe Brady before he ever called plays with Ensminger. Now that you've seen this offense and you got Joe Burrow doing everything a quarterback should do in the spread, it looks like they are going to be fighting off people that want to come to LSU. And obviously, we all know the foundation. You got to get some old linemen. So hopefully they can get some big uglies to finish up this class.
It certainly is an exciting time when you as LSU fans can say we have the most dynamic, cutting-edge offense on the market right now. It certainly helps in recruiting. We talked about Arch Manning. I saw him a little bit of highlights this past weekend. Kid could sling it. Archie said he might be ahead of Peyton and Eli in high school. So, hey, we'll see. A lot of football left to be played for that young man, but it's certainly exciting.
But could you imagine the pressure knowing what the grandfather and your uncles have done in the NFL and the Super Bowls and all the stuff? By the way, folks, enjoy your 11 a.m. kickoff. Be safe. Obviously, next week we're talking some really spicy, passionate. Auburn plays Florida on CBS right after LSU this weekend, so we'll have a better idea what Florida looks like against Auburn, and it's just a great time. Right. Saints and Tampa Bay, interesting game after Tampa Bay went on the road and scored 55 against the Rams.
Right, franchise record in points. They put it on the Rams. Who saw that coming? Your survival pool probably didn't survive that pick. Any given Sunday, right? I mean, that's the old expression. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to show up, turnovers, touchdowns. That's why it's one of the greatest games ever created.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And once again, enjoy all your ball games, including the high school games. We're doing our show tonight, and we will be back on next Wednesday. And I'm fired up about Florida, Mississippi State, Auburn, that little trio game.
Right, SEC gauntlet just around the bay. But first, LSU takes on Utah State this Saturday, 11 o'clock. Catch it on SEC Network if you're watching on the tube. Want to give a shout out to the Kingpin. AT out in the truck did outstanding.
Yeah.
Gotta give a round of applause. Great job. Doing multiple jobs.
Greg Hockey, once again, get well very quickly.
That's right. We're all thinking about you, Greg. We'll have a salad here waiting for you whenever you get back. We're certainly wishing you the best of luck and great returns with your new empty space for your appendix used to be. Greg, we're thinking of you, and thank you for watching the Tigers Report.